In the heart of ancient Arabia, long before the arrival of Islam, stood a cube-shaped structure that would one day become the most sacred place on earth for over 1 billion people, the Kaaba. But centuries before the birth of Prophet Muhammad, there came a man with a burning ambition, a former slave-turned-king who dared to destroy it. His name was Abraha. The rise of the Kaaba and Mecca during this period. The Kaaba was already revered by Arab tribes. It was believed to be the house of Allah, built by Prophet Abraham and his son Ishmael. Every year, tribes from all over the Arabian Peninsula would travel to Mecca to perform pilgrimage. This journey wasn't just spiritual, it brought commerce, cultural exchange, and political influence. The people of Mecca, though not royal or powerful militarily, had become economically strong and socially respected. Abraha, a governor of Yemen under the Christian kingdom of Abyssinia, modern-day Ethiopia, watched this from afar with envy. Who was Abraha? Abraha wasn't born into power. He was originally a slave, serving Roman traders, but through military campaigns and clever politics, he rose in ranks, eventually appointed as the Abyssinian ruler of Yemen. At that time, Yemen had recently come under Abyssinian control after the Roman Empire Christian-backed them to fight against the Jewish Himmerite kingdom, which had persecuted Christians in Yemen. Once in power, Abraha saw an opportunity. If he could divert the Arabs from Mecca to his own land, he could make Yemen the religious and economic center of Arabia. The building of Al-Qalays, the Cathedral of Sana'a. To achieve this, Abraha built a massive cathedral in Sana'a called Al-Qulays. It was one of the most beautiful buildings of its time, decorated with gold, ivory, imported marble, and rare jewels. He ordered all Arab tribes to abandon the Kaaba and worship there, but the Arabs refused. For them, the Kaaba was not just a building, it was a symbol of their heritage, their faith, and their unity. Not even the grandest church could replace it. In fact, the Arabs were so offended by Abraha's command that, according to some narrations, one of them even entered the cathedral and defiled it further, insulting Abraha. This act enraged him. He no longer wanted to compete with the Kaaba, he wanted to destroy it. The invasion of Mecca, the year of the elephant. Abraha prepared a massive army of 60,000 soldiers along with war elephants, including a massive one named Mop. Elephants were rare and terrifying to the desert Arabs. Their presence alone was meant to intimidate. This year would be remembered forever as Al-Fil, the year of the elephant. As Abraha's army marched north toward Mecca, tribe after tribe tried to resist him, but they were defeated swiftly. He destroyed everything in his path. When he reached near Mecca, he camped outside the city and sent a message to the leader of the Quraysh, Abdul-Muttalib, the grandfather of the Prophet. The noble response of Abdul-Muttalib came to meet Abraha. The king expected fear, maybe even negotiation or submission, but instead, Abdul-Muttalib calmly asked for the return of his camels that had been taken by Abraha's troops. Abraha was surprised and said, "I thought you were a noble and brave man. I expected you to plead for your house of worship, but you're only asking for your camels." To this, Abdul-Muttalib gave a reply that became legendary. "Greater than I am, the owner of the camels, and I have come to claim what is mine. As for the Kaaba, it has its own Lord, and he will protect it." Abraha, unmoved, prepared his army for attack. The divine intervention. The next morning, Abraha's army advanced toward Mecca, but something strange happened. The lead elephant refused to move. No matter how much they beat it, forced it, turned it, it wouldn't budge in the direction of the Kaaba. Yet if they turned it in any other direction, it would move freely. At that moment, the sky darkened. Flocks of small birds called Ababil appeared from above, flying in formation. Each bird carried 3 tiny stones, one in its beak and one in each claw. They began dropping them on the soldiers. These weren't ordinary stones. Each one struck with such precision and power that soldiers melted, burned, and disintegrated. Their skin rotted, their flesh peeled away like a disease spreading instantly. It was like being hit with divine fire. Panic erupted. Soldiers ran in every direction, but there was no escape. Abraha's entire army was annihilated. Only a few survived, and even those, like Abraha himself, suffered painful diseases and injuries. Abraha died in agony, his body rotting as he returned toward Yemen. The Kaaba was untouched, the year of miracles. The birth of the Prophet that year, 570 CE, was unlike any other. Just weeks after this miraculous event, a boy was born in Mecca, a child whose message would one day reach every corner of the globe, a child who would cleanse the Kaaba of idols and restore it as a house of monotheism. That child was Muhammad ibn Abdullah. Legacy of the event. The story of the elephant is mentioned in the Quran, in Surah Al-Fil. Greater than, have you not seen how your Lord dealt with the companions of the elephant? Did he not make their plot go astray? And he sent against them birds and flocks, striking them with stones of baked clay, and he made them like eaten up straw. Surah Al-Fil, 105-1-5. This event was a turning point in Arabian history. It humbled kings and empires. It strengthened the Quraysh and the city of Mecca. It was a divine sign before the coming of the final messenger. Conclusion. Abraha's arrogance met Allah's power. His army of elephants fell before flocks of birds, and his mighty army dissolved before a Lord whose house he dared to touch. This was not just the failure of a king, it was a warning to all tyrants, that no matter how powerful, no one can overpower the will of Allah, and in the shadow of that miracle, boy was born who would bring light to the world. This is the story of the year of the elephant. This is the beginning of the final chapter in human history. Subscribe to The Battle Line, Muslim history for more legendary stories from the golden past that shaped our present.